Okay, my couture crafters, let's get into what I'm calling a double card. I am taking some 65-pound weight. So this is just the regular Michaels paper and I'm cutting it down to 9 1/4 by 7. Again, that's 9 1/4 by 7. This is basically the same card that I did for a birthday Mother's Day card. I'm scoring at 3 and I'm scoring at 6 1/4. Now I'm folding over on those score lines and you'll see that there's like a slight overlap where you have just a little bit peeking out. I like these cards for when it's time to give money. So now you're going to take your ruler and you're going to mark 1 inch down from the score line and 1 inch from the bottom. 1 inch from the right hand side down and 1 inch in from the left hand side at the bottom. There you go. See it? Now we're going to take our trimmer, line up the dots, and cut them, and we have a nice diagonal angle. Now I'm going to do the exact same thing to another piece of cardstock so that we can join these two together. This comes about because anytime I'm giving a card or money, my mother says, "Oh, well, can I give you some money too? Or do you have another card?" No, I'm anticipating that she's going to say it, so we're just doing a type of card that will allow you to put money in for multiple people. So again, we're doing 1 inch down and 1 inch from the bottom. And we're going to line them up again with the trimmer and just slice right through. Then we're going to fold on those score lines just like we did before. Now the direction that you fold this will give you the direction of your opening. So look, you see that they're facing each other. I want them on the same side. So I'm just going to flip that over and fold it backwards. Again, I'm using 65-pound cardstock. I wanted something that I could fold back and forth because I wasn't sure which direction I was going to want to fold this. Because I'm only doing 2 cards, it can fold inside or outside. I'll show you again in a second what that means. Now I'm getting ready to do some matting, and basically that's when you take some cardstock, put it on top of some other cardstock to give it some dimension, some depth, some color. Basically, I'm coloring. Think of it like coloring your card, adding some character to it. I need to change the blade in my trimmer, so I'm getting all these rips and fuzzies, so I just take a nail file and sand it down. For this, I think I measured that at 2 3/4 by 7. I wanted it to go end to end. I like the way that looks better than when it doesn't. And I'm doing the same cardstock in the center for the other card. I could have cut it down just a little bit, but hey. Here you can use red line sticky tape or just some tape runner at the bottom, and you're also going to do a little bit at the top. You want to make sure that it's not more than 1/4. This is probably a little more than 1/4. I should have used some thinner tape, that double-sided tape that I have, but this works out just fine. And you can see that the money fits in with room to wiggle around and everything. So now we're going to attach the two together. See, you can fold it kind of inside or you can fold it backward. You can add as many of these as you'd like. This is great if you have like a unit at your job and there's like 5 or 6 people and everybody wants to give one card to the supervisor or something like that. Just keep adding cards and folding them accordion style, backward and forward. Here I added glue. I kept the glue 1/8 away from the fold. Don't take it all the way to the fold. Keep it about 1/8 away so that you have room to fold backwards and forward. You see that? I went backward and forward. Now I need to decorate the front of the card. These are the new Ulta Ink Crisp dye colors in these oranges, so I decided why not? Now, when you first get the, see this one? This one only has 3 colors. Usually Altenew has 4 in every series, but that set there comes with 3. Usually when you get these, you really need to play with these immediately because when you want to use them, you don't want them to fail you. And stamps, when they're clear, they take some prepping and getting used to and all that. And that's time consuming. So I just kind of skipped ahead. And there's no sense in me showing you how to stamp layers because my head would be in the way and that's annoying. So this is me stamping the first layer down and the third layer. And there you go. Again, I'm still ripping up paper with my trimmer. I need to change the blade. So I finished my image. And yes, it took me a while to prep that stamp. These stamps are serious business, but the more you stamp, the better they are. This is a really cool stamp set by Clearly Besotted. It's called Brush Sentiments. It's a good one to have. They're small, especially if you like doing cards my size. They're really small sentiments. They're not big at all. And this one here just says Happy Graduation. So I lined the card up in the middle. I don't know why, but I did. And now I'm just playing with where I want that placed. I'm using the MISTI because after you spend all that time layer stamping, you do not want to mess up with the sentiment. That's what you don't want to do. So that's why I'm using the MISTI. I'm not saying it couldn't be done by hand, but this was just a better bet. I ended up trimming that down just a little bit. And then I decided that I wanted just a sliver of orange, dark orange around the sides. So I cut that down to probably about 1/8 more than the card, just so that I had just the tiniest peeking out around. See, just a tiny, tiny bit, like 1/16 around all the sides as opposed to 1/8. And I mounted that on with my tape runner. And now I'm going to mount this houndstooth paper. I got this paper from Michaels in a set. That was the set that you guys saw me flipping through in the beginning of the video. And this one I cut down to 1/4 so that I had just a sliver of black around, a little bit more than, probably about 1/8 on each side. So I cut that houndstooth 1/4 less on all sides. And I like the way it came out. It's pretty. And this card is meant to be viewed up and down. So I wanted to keep with that going through instead of turning it that direction. And here I'm auditioning what colors I want to put, because whatever color I put right there is going to show just a little bit. So now I'm cutting this down to 7 by, I think 3 by 7. Yep. It looks like 2 3/4 by 7. No, maybe it was 3 by 7. I think it was 3 by 7. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm putting a dot 1 inch down and a dot in from 1 inch from the left. Same thing again. Inch down and 1 inch from the bottom left. And then we're going to slice it and slice it again. This gives you an exact replica of the angle. No black showing. You see that? And then you can see that that's going to show out. So I'm just kind of auditioning. Do I want to see the lighter color? Do I want to see the more bold orange? Just playing and auditioning and thinking. Then I decided that I wanted black showing around. So I cut 1/4 off the back and 1/4 off the butt. I'm going to show you what the difference is right now. So now that I shaved this one, look all the way around the sides. You can see black. It gives it a little more depth, dimension, a better color blocking, I think. Can you see that? All around that shape is black. See? Now the other one is the exact same size. I haven't trimmed it yet. And it gives it a different look. And so when you put that on, you see no black around. It's just a different look. It's all up to you how you want to do this. While I was doing this, I thought of like a million different things that I wanted to do. Stamp sets that I wanted to use. I'm going to have to show you guys how I give gift cards too. So this is how I give straight money. So I decided that I wanted the black around. So I'm taking off 1/4 off the back and off the butt. Now I need to mat those, gluing paper on top of paper. Oh yeah, I like that. And I chose the darker orange. I don't know why. It was a thing. I was really thinking hard about it. And now I'm just using my tape runner again. And I am centering it and poking at it till I get it where I want it. And there, I got it. So then we press it down. Then we do the same thing for the bottom. I went back and forth with how I wanted to do this and where I wanted to put it. But remember, depending upon how you fold this, you will see that orange peeking out. So be ready for it, because it's got just a little sliver. So I'm going to fold mine backwards, just like that, accordion style. Or you could fold it this way. See the black to the right where my thumb is? Or now you see orange. Of course, you can put cardstock on top of that other piece that you just saw. You know, the possibilities are really endless. You just have to decorate it how you see fit. So again, I'm just looking and thinking, lots of places for you to write. I'm gonna write on the orange, and I'm gonna give my mother the yellow side to write on, or she can write on the left hand side. And then what would really be cute is if I stamped on the orange and the yellow triangle panels from the, if I put from, and then you know which one was from whom, which would be really cool again if you have like a unit or something. Best stamp set ever. Love it. It's by Concord and Ninth. I think you're wonderful. Miss your face just because. You deserve all the good stuff. Just a really cute stamp set that I got for free with my purchase. I think that's worth buying, actually. I really like the sentiments on there. But like I was saying, you could put from on each of those panels, especially if you had a bunch of them. That would be so cool. Now here I'm thinking about where I want to put the sentiment. I started to put a sentiment on each and every panel. Again, possibilities are just endless. I'm really pleased with the way that this card came out. So I decided just to put it at the bottom center, and I used the "You deserve all the things." I think that's what it is. Oh yes. You deserve all the good stuff. Now remember, when you're stamping that, it might peek out, so be ready. Luckily mine didn't, because it was a short enough left to right, so I didn't have to worry about that. But just remember, when you fold that, you don't want it to peek out in the front. And here I'm just showing you guys that you can place the money in there. And you could place quite a few bills in there with no problems. The bulk only gets to be an issue when you're making the envelope, which we're doing right now. I couldn't use a 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. I had to use something that would allow me to do 9 by 9. I used the dimensions for 3.5 by 7.5, even though this card measures 3.25 by 7. I wanted to have it just enough wiggle room in there. If I did a bunch of them for like a unit or something like that, I would probably do a boxed envelope. And I've shown you guys how to do that on my last video. And then there's a video from Christmas time that shows you all how to do that. I don't know why I rounded that. That was absolutely pointless. Because when you're doing narrow envelopes, you have to cut off the tops so that they fit. You'll see in just a second. So normal, just me making an envelope, and you'll see right there, I'm just testing it. I like how much room is in there. I could probably do 2 more cards and still have room in this particular size without having an issue. But you see right here, I have to cut off the tip so that it's not hanging over. And I need to cut off the tip on the inside too. I cut that one off substantially. I like the way it looks when I close it. It's kind of cool, see? Just straight across. And then that one I decided that I might want to seal it, so I trimmed off a little bit more. If I was just going to seal it with tape, that's fine. But if I'm going to do a wax seal, I need to cut it down more. And that's what I'm doing here, just in case I decide I want to do a wax seal to seal it. And now I'm just using some glitter glue to close this up. Nothing special. And then I just hold it for a few seconds. You know, glitter glue dries extremely quickly. And now I'm grabbing my Tim Holtz platform so that I can stamp on the envelope. This envelope doesn't match. It's just a stamp set that was sitting there that I had to play with by the Ton. You know I love me some Ton. I think it says your future looks great. And I was like, that's appropriate for a graduation, right? And I really should have probably used the stamp set anyway to do her card because she's such a funky, girly girl. But oh well. I like this glasses set, so that's what we're doing. And there you have it. I stamp it down. I didn't get the greatest impression, which is why we use these things. Excuse me. And now we are restamping it. And there we go. I love it. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.